5.
Hey everybody, it's Sarah and I am back with CJ for another video. So we are back for another video after quite some time, I would assume, since I put out the last video, but I don't have a schedule and I just kind of do things. We are going to do kind of some holiday tag-ish stuff. We are using a hybrid of tags. We found a Christmas tag by Zoella from, I think that was 2017, but I'm not sure. That might have been really old. I don't know Zoella. We have a list of questions that we've kind of taken that we liked out of that list. We also have an AuthorTube Christmas tag, which was made by Jesse Elliott back in 2016. We picked a couple questions off of that list, and then we added a couple of writer-related questions to the list ourselves. So I guess we're just going to call it the Christmas hybrid questions. You can make it a tag if you want. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't want to call it a tag. I didn't write half the damn questions. So, but if you want to answer the same questions, then I'll put them down below. Question 1. Do you still have advent calendars? I've never had an advent calendar.
So I have an advent calendar. When I was a little girl, my mom made us advent calendars, and basically it's just a piece of felt with the Santa Claus head on the top, and then it has these like pieces of yarn that stick out from it, and you're supposed to buy the mini candy canes, and there's 25 of them, and you just tie them in, and
You just get a candy cane?
Yeah, a candy cane every day. But they're mini candy canes, so like, I don't know that I've used it.
And it's not like a surprise advent calendar?
No, it's not. We celebrated Advent every year. The year I remember is, we must have been really, really broke. Like, my parents must have been really broke. Because our Advent presents were crafts. We did. I have, in my collection of Christmas ornaments, I have a popsicle Christmas tree. I have a felt Christmas tree that has sewn buttons on it. And I guarantee you my mother did not buy those popsicle sticks. She bought the popsicles. My dad ate the popsicles. There were popsicle sticks left over.
What are your favorite Christmas films? I want to take this one first because number 1 is Die Hard. That's really the only movie I watch. I might watch Scrooged. Not a big Christmas film person. Home Alone is okay. Christmas Vacation is okay. I hate A Christmas Story. Like, fucking hate A Christmas Story. So.
Which is funny because A Christmas Story is one of my favorite Christmas films. I love that story. It cracks me up. So it's one of my favorites, but I have to say my absolute favorite is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You're not even going to put Die Hard on your list?
No, I like Die Hard, but it's not.
It's a Christmas movie, goddammit!
It is a Christmas
It's the best
movie.
Christmas movie ever made!
Are you done?
It's got Alan Rickman in it, and he's a
It does.
terrorist.
I love Alan Rickman. Okay, for that alone, I love Alan Rickman.
I'd vote for Die Hard.
I'll make it my second favorite. I'll put it above A Christmas Story, but only because Alan Rickman's in it.
All right, you want to do the next question?
Talk us through your typical Christmas day. So our Christmas day is actually a little bit more than Christmas Day, because our Christmas starts the night before. So we start with Christmas Eve and we go to the Christmas Eve service at church. And because I'm the music director at our church, I have to be there early and do a bunch of stuff. So we do Christmas Eve service, and then we go to my parents' house and we have soup. My mom makes like 5 different kinds of soup. And we have Christmas with my friend and her kids, who are like my parents' adopted grandchildren. In the past, my sisters and I have stayed the night. Now that my middle sister is married, she and her husband go out to visit his family out of state, so they don't. We have a Christmas time with them another time, but it's not real Christmas. Christmas Day, the last couple of years since they got married, we get up and we have breakfast and we open our stockings, and then we have a discussion every year about whether we're going to wait to open presents until we've eaten breakfast and finished breakfast, or if we're going to take our breakfast downstairs and eat it while we open presents, or if we want to wait to open presents until after, like, later in the day. Like, it's stupid, but we always have this discussion, and we always end up eating breakfast and then going down and opening presents. And then in the afternoon, my parents invite people over, and they come to my parents' house, and we graze. Like, there's lots of appetizers and different kinds of food to eat, and there's people, and usually by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, you know, I gotta go home. I'm done with people.
We just go to my parents' house sometime on Christmas Eve and open presents. And we do nothing at my house. We don't have a tree up at my house. My lights are all here. Like, we don't really do much. We aren't religious, so there's none of that. It's a secular holiday. There you go. Yeah, I mean, we don't, but we largely do presents all at my mom and dad's house. Because we don't usually, first of all, we lived there for so long. Like, we've only had one Christmas here. But also, like, if we get like one big present, there's no point in us having one big present sitting somewhere in our house wrapped.
Right.
That's weird. There's one child, and Travis and I just kind of go, oh, you want that video game? Sure, grab that video game. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. And it's not like your kid is...
Right, she's 18 years old.
Yeah, she's not little anymore.
Right,
so.
we're not putting on any fantasies or fairy tales. Do you have any Christmas traditions? I think that's the same question as the last question. I don't know why I left that in here. My hybrid is broken. Which are your favorite Christmas songs?
My favorite Christmas song of all time is, it's a tie between I'm Getting Nothing for Christmas and the Christmas that Santa Went Crazy.
The Night Santa Went Crazy?
The Night Santa Went Crazy. Those are my two favorites. I do have a favorite traditional Christmas song, but it's only traditional if you live in the UK, so it doesn't, like, nobody else wants to hear it ever. In the Bleak Midwinter, which isn't really so much a Christmas song, but they use it at carol services, and I like it. It's a beautiful song, and that's where I'm at.
The only Christmas songs I like are The Night Santa Went Crazy and Christmas at Ground Zero.
Since this is a holiday tag, I will add that I like Hanukkah and Santa Monica.
Oh yes, that's a super good song.
That's
if you are unfamiliar, Tom Lehrer, he is amazing.
And that song. Isn't there a men's chorus that does a really excellent version of that? Like,
I don't remember what City Gay men's chorus.
But it is absolutely a wonderful production of that song.
Fabulous.
Would recommend.
What is the best Christmas present you ever received?
Like, ever? I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
That's a lot of presents to try and go through. Recently, your mom gave me, there was a picture frame thing, which is fine. I use that. That's great. It's on the wall. It's got pictures of the kids in it. But then there are these two hooks. They're on like little shabby chic flower things, and they hang on the wall, and I think they're for like towel racks or coats or what. I use them to hang up my necklaces, and they are so useful.
Mine, I had an answer earlier, and now I can't remember what it was. Maybe many years ago, I think it was like 95 or something, the illustrated versions of the first 4 books of the Dark Tower came out, and there were no other books at this point. And these like beautifully illustrated copies came out. My mom got me all 4 of them for Christmas that year. And the Dark Tower ended up being one of my favorite series, and it's just, I think it turned out to be an amazingly good gift. I don't know if I knew at that point that it was going to be one of my favorite gifts. All right, number 7, real or fake Christmas tree?
So at my parents' house, for many, many years, my parents would go get a real Christmas tree. But my father, who's a wonderful man, has a very difficult time understanding that a tree that is out in the middle of a tree farm looks very different when it's in the middle of an acreage than it does when it's in your living room. And so it really entertained me for many years that they would get a tree that was like 6 feet across, and he'd have to lop off the top. You know that scene in Christmas Vacation where he takes the next door neighbor's tree and like has to cut off the top? That's what he did to the tree, because he got a tree that was like 7 feet tall and they had 6-foot ceilings. So in that moment, you're kind of like, I'm entertained by this. But generally speaking, I like fake trees better in my own home.
I agree. And also, we don't really put up a tree in my house, partially because we have cats. All right, and we are on to the Jesse Elliott questions. Pick one of your characters. What would be on their Christmas wish list? I'm going to use Gryffindor for all of the character questions. So, what are you using?
I'm going to use my cereal, the Southern Island Chronicles.
All right. So, with what would be on their Christmas list, I'm going to go ahead and just use my main character, whose name is going to change, but it's currently Amber. I don't have an answer for that question, so we'll both just kind of leave it at that, because we really do have somewhere to be shortly. Which one of your characters, as an adult, would still believe in Santa Claus? I'm going to go with Asperion, because he believes in everything.
I was going to say Haley, not because Haley believes in everything, but because Haley has just discovered that the world contains magic, so if the world contains fairies and mermaids and things like that, clearly Santa Claus is real.
Out of all of your characters, who would be the best gift giver? I think mine's going to be Landon, even though he's awful young. He's like a toddler, but I think he's my answer.
I think Haley's a better gift giver.
Your main character got a gift that he or she hated. What would he or she do? She probably would just not tell anybody.
I think Haley would be very polite. And then, like, quietly donate it somewhere.
What would be your main character's favorite part about the holidays? I think Amber's would just be, like, having a calm time with the people she likes.
I think for Haley it would be being with family, because they've been through so much loss that having family to spend the holidays with is really important to her.
And then these last questions are the ones that we came up with, and these ones are more about just, like, being a writer. The first one is, do you write when there is a holiday? Like, on the holiday, will you write? I will write no matter what. Sometimes I'm writing, sometimes I'm not writing, but I don't have, like, a stopping, like, I'm not going to write because it's Christmas. That's not a thing I would do.
I always write over Thanksgiving because I'm here.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we share. As far as Christmas Day goes, it depends on how the day goes. Some days it's a really good excuse to, like, I have to go home, I'm going to do some writing. Other than that, I'm kind of the same way.
What writing present would you like to get?
I know this one. I thought of this. I was like, ooh. I would really like Dragon.
Yeah.
What is it called?
The Dragon voice to
voice to text dictation program.
Dictation software.
Yeah, dictation, that's what it's called. I'd really like the Dragon dictation software.
Mine would be like if somebody would, like, get me a gift certificate to an editor or something like that, like, just to, like, help pay for the costs they get you to publishing. Do you ever write about holidays? If so, in what capacity? If not, why not? I don't typically write about holidays. I'm not a big holiday person. I like Halloween just fine. The rest of the holidays I just kind of roll with.
Yes and no. So I've written about holidays in other, like, other fantasy worlds I've written. I've created holidays that I then write about. I have never written about holidays in our world. However, with this serial, one of the things I'm looking forward to is preparing holiday-themed episodes.
Okay, and that does it for our Christmas hybrid tag thing. So if you want to answer these questions, go ahead and answer these questions. I'll put them down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and for watching, and we hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and we will see you guys all again later. So, bye.
Bye.
So, we'll see. But we wanted to do...
Forgot to tell him that we were going to start again, didn't we?
Yep.
You're so lucky you get to witness this. With these bangs, I can actually do wings. Like, you know, like the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And with the waterfall bangs. Look at that. I can do a little bit of wings.
Ooh, fancy.
I really want the Farrah to come back into style.
Yeah?
I do, because my mom looked really good with the Farrah, and I had the same face shape she does, or a similar one.
We're recording. Oh, noisy bitches. 2 minutes ain't nothing gotten done. people storming around the house. Storming around the house. So there you go. The soda has been opened.